going in towards ESL Pro League Season 22. They're also not in ESL Pro League Season 21 because it's Tyloo and Linvision that are in that for the representatives here. So it really goes on to show that there is an opportunity for a bunch of these teams to be able to meet and get on part of these events to see the Mongols out and other teams and get that experience going into it.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time for Asian Counter-Strike Komodo, an exciting time for the evening. Happy Friday, everybody who celebrates. Let's dive into ATOX versus Chinggis Warriors. So Nuke, as you mentioned, cruising towards outside. It's going to be interesting to see any positional sort of changes here. Controls taking point. I think that's... no, it's not a missmoke. They've just got the top of hut annex. That's getting closed off. There is a little bit of a peek out, but they're just going to drop lowers and see what they can find. But it's Ariukul finding the opening shot as well, and another for E-Fire.
This is where things get a little bit difficult, however, with the battle of all of the pistols. Maybe you get a little bit of stability now coming in towards it. Kabal, that's a decapitation. And now Mitch, all on a Dobu.
Dobu the man. It was great to have a real good chat with him as well. He's such a sort of humble and nice guy. But this is probably a little bit too much of a round for a humble, nice guy. Bomb planted, top site, long way to rotate around, but obviously, again, just the pistol, so we're not going to be too concerned about it. I like the approach from Chinggis Warriors, you know, wrapping outside, going pretty fast, taking all the control, and, you know, happy after they found those picks, they just end on top side.
I mean, it's a map like Nuke. You're not going to be too far-fetched to try and save this Kevlar going into the next round if you can get an exit kill or two. Controls is down to 7 HP. You know where the bomb radius is going to explode. He's just actually been seen running away and is dead as well. So that's actually a really nice collection of kills to come for Ariukul, for E-Fire as well. Just a great pistol all in all from the Chinggis Warriors. Having the Nikes on, running it straight down, taking the duels, not scared. You do like to see that to gain some early Nuke control, especially on the T side.
Just seems like, you know, a team like Chinggis Warriors, and again, you know, hopefully we'll see a fair bit more of it in this map and the second map, but also, you know, throughout the rest of the course of the competition. It's just, they're a team that they've got some pretty high highs, but some pretty low lows as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like IHC is similar. It seems like ATOX has been the team to kind of show a little bit more in recent times. So it's, yeah, just challenging because, you know, we obviously had the change where we did see Annihilation and Yami in there for a little bit too, but, you know, Annihilation having that little issue, stepping away from the roster. So, yeah, Yami's found himself obviously over in IHC. Annihilation not playing at this point in time, whereas News, he's just going to pick up some frags. Happy days, MIQ is going to drop him down, but that's one of those rounds where it's just basically cash money, bomb planted low up, easy pickings.
Yeah, it's good to see that it is the back 10 as well, going for those frags to get the extra money into your pockets. Just on the tail end of this one as well, you know, technically head-to-head, ATOX are the favored team in towards this matchup right now. So for the Chinggis Warriors, if they're able to steal away some early rounds and really get a good fine-tuned grasp on how they want to attack on this B side, well, they could come in for a good little upset in towards this one. You talk about high highs, low lows, big consistency. We've seen a lot of great consistency from ATOX lately, besides that final that you did. On the flip side, for the Chinggis Warriors, though, they've really been struggling against teams like Tyloo and Linvision, and even, you know, you stretch it back to the Huns as well, and ATOX previously. So they're on a bit of a slump, I would say, starting to peak a little bit better. So this is the series for them to bring some stability. And if you want to start to talk about stability, coming into round number 3 after the pistol and the anti-eco, this is where you want to try and get your foot rolling.
Absolutely. For this round, I might dive in a little further to, you know, EXO, who won Extremes Land. Just about their opponents that they actually did overwhelm on their way in, but it's a top side hit. Rooks is going to be dropped down by Dobu. So a nice defense here for now. Nice little swivel on a dime. News has found some pretty good positioning, but spotted out by accuracy. So it's a pretty lackluster looking offense here. Controls. Yeah. Again, our Kadir player to watch. He's going to be found anyway. So yeah, not a hell of a lot there from Chinggis Warriors. I felt like they were maybe a little bit slow off the back of that top hut molly. So not a hell of a lot there. And ATOX, they pick a round with 4 alive.
One of the scariest things for me when it comes to ATOX on a map like Nuke as well is when you've got MIQ with this AWP. If you're not figuring him out where he either is and off-putting him, or you're looking around for where Kabal might be sitting or Dobu might be sitting, you got to bait out a lot of their utility, right? So if we're thinking about the Chinggis Warriors and we're thinking about are they dotting I's, are they crossing T's with all this utility on the starting of the T side to off-put positions and to draw out this CT utility, if they're not doing that, they're gonna struggle quite a little bit. So, bit of a standard default setup at the moment for ATOX. Cabal spotting over at the ramp, or overlooking outers. Nothing too untoward at the moment for ATOX, and it doesn't need to be Mitch, honestly. You got 2 AKs, the rest pistols coming in for CW.
Maximum chilling. Said controls, you know, he is the man that I think can do it with an AK here, but again, a hell of a lot to overwhelm here. Have managed to slip the wickets. It's been an interesting sort of shift with ATOX here. It's either MIQ or accuracy AWPing. I think they are trying to sort of get MIQ to be the primary AWPer a little bit more regularly. But it's always good to have, you know, 2 players that can do it quite comfortably. But this control they've got down ramp, we're going to have to spot out old mate Cabal in position.
Just thinking about it as well, if you can draw attention away from him right now as Dobu, it could be gold.
Really slowing down towards Megaton here as well. Not overly convinced. 40 seconds, they got time to do it, but accuracy is finding Rooks outside, so that might kind of force their hand a little bit. Look at the positions of these ATOX members. Komodo, now Cabal, maybe walking into the negative. It's going to be E-Fire to take him down. That's one of those AKs. Spotting out the member towards Decon as well. They can move on down, but great peek from Dobu.
Yeah, a little bit of immaturity potentially from controls to go back onto the line after spotting him out, and with the bomb starting to get planted from Nuke in the open, and it will get denied. Time is an issue right now, Mitch.
Yeah, bomb dropped in a really awkward spot, so E-Fire is going to have to be the hero, but MIQ takes him down. Easy breezy, beautiful. Well done from ATOX. 2 alive, you know, they felt a little bit of pressure. I like Chinggis Warriors really slowing down the time to bait Cabal into that position there, but again, ATOX, you know, they seem to be pretty locked in. So it's just going to be the full eco now for Chinggis Warriors. So I'll use that time to just touch on. So EXO, their ultimate team to win. They were the Middle Eastern, North Africa rather, qualifying team. And they were just full of individual sharpies. I think they had like a Ukrainian, a Saudi Arabian, an Iranian member. Like they were really sort of a diverse roster, right? And a roster that got put together 3 weeks before the event. So their run was, they had pretty easy, you know, Faded Rise, which is former Cat Evil. They've played in, you know, plenty of Chinese tournaments. 13-3, dominated on Dust 2. 13-3 against the Thai side, Real Original, which we used to see in like Alpha Red and Lucid Dream. 13-3, Dust 2. Chinggis Warriors was the only one to actually take a map off them. It was 2-1. And then they ended up 2-0ing Rare Adam, who looked pretty limp, I will admit, and 2-0ing ATOX as well. So both these teams did meet their same fate from the Middle Eastern side. So I think it's an interesting sign of the times in Asian Counter-Strike that it's, again, you know, not just going to be these quote-unquote major regions inside Asia dominating the rest. Even seeing, you know, like a Vietnamese team, a Thai team, a Korean team back in competition. You know, it's just, again, Counter-Strike's back. You know, there's no longer this domination of Valorant, right? You know, orgs are stepping away and they're looking to reinvest their coin elsewhere.
That's what excites me about a team like God's Reign in a tournament like this as well, to see what damage that they're going to be able to do from a region that doesn't get to spread their wings too much.
Definitely so.
But we'll get back in towards this one as we've got another gun round to be presented. Chinggis Warriors, I feel like they need to have a little bit more standard momentum with the utility and not over-expect positions of ATOX as well. You know, that round in the previous gun one, you smoke off decon, you block off that frag, you potentially even do get in the plant and it's a different round. For Rooks at the moment, a bit advised to run through the Molotov when you've got controls losing his life, News is down as well. This is where things get quite problematic for the Chinggis Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. And with MIQ getting that opening pick, sure, he gets dropped by Rooks, but obviously he's still pretty low too. So secret control, a little bit awkward. Bomb still back in lobby, so they're very, very separated here. And yeah, with Dobu taking this lobby control, I don't think there's a hell of a lot of positioning. Oh, never mind. No, sorry, Rooks got down then. I thought he was still in lobby. Great shot back. Maybe this round's on.
If you've got a need for an individual to go above and beyond, I mean, starting with a lesser weapon and upgrading to that, or getting 2 kills in the process of this engagement, it's not a bad way to do things. Equalize 3 versus 3, footsteps heard down in the lower tunnels, however. Should be onto Cabal here.
How are you cool to pick up Dobu too? So yeah, just onto Zesta and Cabal. The experience of Daddy Cabal having a look over. Does put out 1 megaton, but Rook should be able to get the trade at the very least. No, it's Ariukul. And yeah, for Zesta, I think this one might be a little bit too much to overwhelm. He's going to give it a potential crack. He is over towards Decon, but it's going to be Rooks to take him down. So a great response there from Chinggis Warriors in a round that I wasn't really expecting them to find.
Yeah, that's massive. That's a 5 versus 3 conversion from that deficit, surviving with 3 as well. Great pass, Mark, to make sure you're getting a little bit of that economy management coming in as well. You're starting to chip away at the money that ATOX do have presentable, which is still pretty damn decent, right? With the stringing of 2 that they'll manage to find. You got M4s across the board. You got the AWP back in MIQ's hands. Helpful handing of utility. The kits, which are always going to be a need on a map like Nuke, I do say. So we'll see if there's going to be any shenanigans afoot for the Chinggis Warriors nice and early on, though. Cabal changing things up and shut down.
Yeah, going solo in a moment like that ain't exactly the wisest. He's had a bit of a rough start here. Ariuk also finding Dobu. So this is Chinggis Warriors just putting the accelerator down. And unfortunately, sorry, ATOX, you don't get to play this round. No. It's going to have to save, and accuracy also going down. So Zesta's going to save the M4. And I guess that's when we start to have this money conversation, Komodo. Like, one thing that I'm sure you're picking up on, you know, in CS2 is how how much of a struggle, sorry, the CT-sided economy is. And with
it's always been a problem. But
yeah, but you're worse now in MR12, right?
Correct.
You know, you have a bad start. It's really, really punishing.
Worse in that regard, but also in the new tendencies that a lot of teams are finding themselves coming into, you know, the new movement mechanics, the way that the guns are feeling, the way that things were feeling, you know, pre the movement prediction versus the movement prediction now as well, right? That's always going to be a touchy subject, you know, leading into the next couple of little weeks, I do feel. Bit unfortunate for Rooks that he does die at the end of this one and E-Fire on 1 HP. But
when does EPL start? It's not too far off. So EPL's in a month. We've got Cluj and Poker in 20 days. And we've got Cato coming up in 5. So the last Bounty Finals, that's been on. That's been interesting. But obviously that's all online. So, you know, you can't really think too much into that. Cato's going to be the big opener, I think, for a lot of us. Especially with, you know, all the changes that are bloody happening. Going to see... you know, Rocks in Vitality, you're going to see, buddy, Spinks into Mao, Shuhei's left. God knows what's happening. So that's when the real exciting Counter-Strikes are really going to kind of kick off for the year. And why it's so nice to have Extremes land as well.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of priority right now on Zesta for this round to really get activated. I'm looking at it, and I wouldn't have minded seeing the gun potentially in Dobu's hands, for example. Not doing too bad on the fragging department at the moment. But hey, Zesta is the one that survived with the gun, so we'll give him benefit of the doubt. News is quite low controls. You know, this M4 can chunk him down as well. So there's an opportunity here for ATOX. Just comes down to what Zesta can do around this outer red box.
Yeah, I think E-Fi is ready for it, so pretty unlucky there for Zesta to be tagged up so low. He will be able to get out with a kill. So the main factor here is, you know, Cabal's got some Kevlar to work with. Realistically, though, Dobu and MIQ not with a hell of a lot, so it's going to be pretty heavy lifting for ATOX to pull this round out. But the damage that they've done so far makes it definitely winnable, a prospect.
I mean, I'm looking at the utility that CW have, right? 2 Molotovs, 2 HE grenades. If you're just posturing back up for a good clearance at the moment, whether it be top side or bottom side, you're up against pistols, you're clearing close quarters. A lot of that utility actually does the job for you as well, right? Standard CT vent molly, standard top hut molly, flashes on out. It wouldn't be a bad idea as long as you're clearing all of your corners, but they got to play silent factor. They're going to go down secret. They're going to go towards this B site. And eventually, it probably might even be a 5-man retake for ATOX at that point in time.
Yeah, and look, at that point, it's, you know, worth a shot too, right? You know, these members are low, 15 seconds. It's going to be a bit of a sweat. I think a few members are going to try drop down the vents nice and quickly. So, Chinggis Warriors, they've got to get into their post plants nice and quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough one for them to hold.
Not the greatest plant in a scenario like this. I mean, it should be containable with the AKs they've got.
Yeah, it's just onto accuracy to see if he can hit that shot, baiting out the AWP as well. So already an information pull. We've got one in Dobu outside. Great shot there from News to drop accuracy. So I don't think they're overly keen. Maybe they're just trying to strangle here. The smoke, the utility they have towards Mega makes it really, really solid. So it's just going to be onto MIQ and Cabal to see if they can pick up any weapons here. And so far, it's not going to look like it. So ATOX have made the wise choice. Rooks has ripped off a couple of members. So it's just the AK and the M4 into the next round. ATOX will take it seriously a little bit more into what will be the ninth.
Yeah, you upgrade your, you know, your survivability factor here for ATOX in the next few rounds with, you know, you invest into the last round with all the utility, all the weaponry. You taking one M4 from that round, you're taking one AK from this round, right? So we'll add extra utility here, a kit as well. That's something that I noticed in that previous round just then, Mitch, that Zesta has that M4, right? He also had a kit. So if there was a little bit of utility, they potentially could have even gone for more, a bit of a retake. So it's a bit of a blessing in disguise for the Chinggis Warriors that going down that lower site makes it a little bit more difficult to fend off against a potential retake. This round is a really important swing one, however, for ATOX to win, because if they lose this one, the way that it starts, it could spiral down.
At least holding on. So accuracy gets one back. Same with Zesta. They are making it work so far. But again, it's going to be that bomb drop very, very quickly. No, Cabal left high and dry there. So all left on are controls. Akadia, player to watch, who hasn't had an opportunity to do a hell of a lot so far on this T side. Maybe the right eye peak, but no, MIQ is going to be able to get him. So very clean round there from ATOX, and an important one going into the 10th now, Komodo, because that's what I talk about with the economy game now, right? You know, Chinggis Warriors have had so many rounds to build up their cash. They should have buy on buy for a little bit longer, whereas ATOX, you know, this is the first time they've really kind of had a solid chance, and it was off the back of saving those 2 rifles in the previous round. So they've got a decent position here now.
Well, that would have been the reset for them had they lost that, right? Lost bonus money coming into their pockets. You got to go back to the eco. You're losing the half. How many more rounds are you considering going over to the Chinggis Warriors at that point in time? So that round there, if they're able to convert this one now by given the chance, they'll tie things up and they might be able to get back in towards this half. I think just maybe he was spotted on that cross too.
He definitely was. I don't know if accuracy spotted them back though, but that's a good shot from News. Cabal has just been getting absolutely abused here, so they're going to get the flash in. But great hold from Dobu, able to find that through the smoke, so that's a good bit of calling between accuracy and Dobu. Accuracy also managing to actually get away with one before he goes down to Ariukal in that molly. So that's a great bit of teamwork there from ATOX, especially after losing Cabal so early. He's been a bit of a liability here on this B rotator from the ramp position.
It's so cheeky that he manages to find one within those flames at the moment to give the team a bit of breathing room as well in this 3 versus 3. Start to reset and position MIQs up where you want. They've got a really advantageous duel at the moment, actually, right now against E-Fire. A Galil, no utility, can really only hold one angle and get overwhelmed. So now the advantage for ATOX.
Out onto the site. Using Ariukal, Molotov up, but MIQ. Nice and easy. Well done. Again, great timing, great proactivity from MIQ. ATOX these last couple of rounds have been looking much, much better. And again, you know, even with Cabal not kind of putting up the best numbers, I do have to give him credit for that round, maybe 2 rounds ago, I think it was, where he got the 2K from the double doors down on B. But outside of that, you know, it has been really the other 4 members of ATOX doing much more of the heavy lifting, especially in accuracy, Dobu, and MIQ. So reset for Chinggis Warriors. They'll only save for the 1, and then it'll be an all-out brawl into the 12th. But ATOX, they're coming back.
Yeah, it's figuring out a bunch of these tendencies of the Chinggis Warriors as well that they've, you know, done in the last couple of rifle rounds on the eco round as well. How the utility has been pivoted for CW. A lot of it being held for a post-plant scenario when you're dropping down the vents and such. So you start to piece a lot of these ideas together as ATOX just in this free gimme round. Mitch, 5 alive, not really much damage done except to Cabal there. ATOX take the lead going into the last round of this half. And this is the benefit, right, of winning that reset round. You start to gain your momentum, you put your opponents into an eco, and you make their last round of the half a little bit more stretched as well with the margins. A Galil, lesser utility, T-side nuke, you need that util there.
Alrighty. So what's the approach here for the final round of the half? How's it going to be taken? Usual sort of bits and pieces again. Chinggis Warriors. Wall of smokes outside. That's been where their success has been found for the most part. Walking in now. Oh, that's really awkward on the timing. Who's going to win that duel? It's going to be Zesta in the end. Accuracy now gets a bit of a spot through the smoke. A couple of warning shots, but on the top of the hut is going to be a cheeky little member in Rooks. So he's able to find that opening. So a trade out nice and early, 4-on-4.
Going to be a crucial engagement in the next few, though. Dobu already getting a sinking feeling that they've pivoted all the way across. So it's going to be a heads-up play to Zesta below, who only has a bailout flash at the moment. Wouldn't even be surprised if he tries to escape. But now that Cabal's lost his life as well, Mitch, this makes things a little bit more strengthened for CW to just park it for a next couple of 20 seconds. Let ATOX really draw out utility, lose positions around the map.
Dobu's timing could be pretty big, though. I don't think they've hard cleared it. If he gets this catch, if he gets this info, there's the call. MIQ, he's got numbers, he's got call. And Dobu can just walk all the way around. It's A-OK though, Komodo. They can drop away. MIQ up into heaven. He can leave Zesta inside the vents. This should be Dobu. Easy breezy. He's going to be able to pick up the first of the controls over towards the side. Has to clear it with the shoulder. Another frag. And that's the half. Nicely done. Well played from ATOX to find the comeback. Is it going to be enough though as they move on towards the T side? And we're back. Not a bad little resurgence there from ATOX after Chinggis Warriors did very much get the jump on them early. But as always, will the T side pay dividends or will it be a bit more of a challenge? It's been eyes on Dobu for me. And MIQ also swapping over the AWPing on the T side. A bit more challenging on Nuke Komodo, but again, Chinggis Warriors will have to put the pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they did too bad on their own T side to be able to give them enough of a breathing room coming on to the more favored CT side of Nuke. So the pistol route is going to be quite important, and its accuracy sets up a bunch of this utility for the ramp control. Molly might not even be needed at the moment to overwhelm News, but getting away with one and a trade out there from controls is not bad.
Not bloody bad at all. Good little response. MIQ, though, and Dobu getting a couple of picks, and those are the guys we've been talking about, right? MIQ also finding another. Very nicely done. It's going to have to be on the Rooks to try and clutch this one out. It will be a little bit tricky. Only good thing is there is a level of separation. They can just slowly make their way through. Doors closed, though, towards uppers, so they are going to have to make a hell of a lot of sound. He has dropped. He is trying to put the pressure on, and all they need to do is wait for that double door, peeking a little bit early. Rooks! Oh! Love to see it. What a great round there from Rooks. The individual weapon to turn the tides there for Chinggis Warriors. 6 on the board. Pistol will be secured.
I mean, for somebody who started off 0 and 5 in this map, might have even been 0 and 6. Not bad. Not bad. He did hear that squeaky door open a little bit earlier and the shimmy on down the vent, so he knew that he had a 1 versus 1 opportunity on that lower site. As soon as those double doors opened, though, man, that was a sinister shot as well. And then finishing it off with the same 1 tap to the face. Not a bad recovery for the Warriors to try and make things interesting, but standard T-side occurrence here as well, right? You get the plant down, you get it down to 1 player surviving, you force up. Bunch of utility here for ATOX, couple of Galils, couple of Mac 10s. Wouldn't be surprised if things shake up here, but Mitch, there's a big green in the server for controls in the second round as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty big statement, you know, because they can just march on in. Obviously, if it's a force buy in, and there he goes, gone straight down immediately, right? 4 alive. ATOX, they've got no worries at all. MIQ, he's picked up the AWP. It's going to be big pressure on EFI here. Does have the MP9, probably the right weapon to do it, to rip through that Kevlar, but Rooks, he's going to go down to the hands of Dobu. And now it's only the 2-on-2. They have to try and play the distance here. Ariukal will be walking in on the flank, but man, this is tough.
Absolutely. And AWP, though, in this point in time for MIQ, if he's not on the right angle, I mean, they could certainly finish him off. A missed shot. Could exactly see what happened to controls. That's information at the moment.
Still got plenty of time to work with. 1:06 left on the clock. MIQ rotating around. Not going to be ready for it at all. So now AWP recovered, but obviously the bomb's gone up top site, and they do not know at all, Komodo. They're still having a look around. Cabal, he could really bait down this timer, right? You know, 40 seconds.
They're still looking down below.
They've noticed only now they have to go up towards heaven, right? They're going to have to wrap up there or through lobby. I think Cabal should know all about it.
I mean, there's a smoke for refire and an AWP. I think you got to put more of a premium on saving that to the next round because Ariukal has the kit, but he can't get on the bomb if they don't smoke it. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is a blunder. Really, really rough. What a way as well to just sort of put the pressure on. I mean, even if Ariukal gets the kill, he's got no time, I don't think.
No time.
Nah, Dunsky. Oh, man, that's rough. Really good response there from ATOX, just putting down the pedal forward to the floor over towards the ramp room. And, yeah, success.
I mean, that round is just an absolute mess. I'll be real with you. Like, you're going into that with 2 Galils and 2 Mac 10s as ATOX. You're going to see an AWP post, you know, towards the ramp room as well. You're thinking, if you miss a shot, you're getting overwhelmed by those lesser guns. Well, that happened. And then you're having a big biff down on that B site where everybody's shooting everybody with different weapons across the whole bloody map. And then MIQ steals the AWP. Well, he dies because he's trying to knife out back towards the top site where it's now planted. They spend half the bomb time trying to figure out it's not B anymore. And then there's no time to even go and get the defuse. That is just an absolute tomfoolery of a round.
Now, Komodo, I've been casting Asian CS for almost 10 years, and it's just a privilege. That's all I can say, right? You know, you just got to learn to expect these plays and these things to happen. Yeah. So it's always what makes, you know, it might not be absolute tier 1 at times, but my God, is it entertaining. But MIQ...
Hey, there's lobby control 20 seconds into the round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Look at Zesta, too. Zesta's still sitting at spawn. So either he's DC'd or he's waiting for a push in towards lobby. Hell of a lot happening in this round already, too, for the Pistols.
Yeah, if it was a rifle round for CW, taking that lobby control, I would love that. You know, it gives them a lot of space around the map to really pinch on towards ATOX and make them a little bit more claustrophobic. But on a round where you've forced into it with 5.7s and you got an MP9 now, some damage on Ariukal, I mean, it makes it a little bit difficult for them to potentially get a closure in this round.
Really trying to slow down the time now. 40 seconds. That bomb is going to be planted. Ariukal not able to take down MIQ, but he's low. Controls will find him. Dobu's got to be careful, but he is on a little bit of a tear. In the end, Cabal gets the trade. And now it's all left on the news. I think there's an AK not too far away. There's a Galil at the very least, but look, 1v3, a little bit too tricky with no kit. And even saving the Galil, I mean, look, it's more the Kevlar at this point in time, right? They got no money.
They forced into it. That's exactly right. So the fact that he's able to just get this gun out into the next round is the bonus. The other benefit would be, you know, loss bonus. I mean, he gets that now because he dies. He doesn't even take Zesta with him. He'll escape the bomb radius. Round, you know, will end before the bomb even explodes. So not bad from ATOX. The biggest thing, though, for me, Mitch, in a round such as that, ATOX didn't overextend positions without a quick immediate trade. I think them already figuring out those sort of mechanisms, you know, early on into this T-side half as well, is really going to be a good strength for them to try and close out this map. You're looking at the eco here and double digits for ATOX. You're looking at, you know, 1-2 gun rounds and that's map done.
It's already feeling that way, I suppose. the dangers of that CT side. You know, it's meant to be the benefit on a map like Nuke, a map like Inferno. But it is just really, really tricky. So Zester, hell of a lot of information on him. Controls, great shot, able to drop Dobu. But a quick trade out. I don't really think there's going to be too much more that they can do. Another little dink. Rooks does take one more. They've got to be careful, but again, you know, with just Rooks and E5, the positional advantage is not great. They're going to be able to get towards bottom site now.
Cabal. He even dinked him.
Quick shot onto Rooks. Yeah, hell of a lot of damage, as I said. Don't find another. MIQ, a little bit of the savior in that round. 2 frags. 10 rounds for ATOX now.
I got a little bit worried. These pistols have looked a bit potent from the Chinggis Warriors here. They got 2 kills and the remaining 3 players were half HP each. It can get a little bit scary if you're just trying to take these dry duels against them. But inevitably, the guns will be present again for the Warriors, favoring controls going on this AWP with no Kevlar to back him out here as well. So he's got to be a little bit more careful on positions that he's playing. We already saw him got melted by the MAC-10 previously.
Another quick approach, trying to get down lowers. And also split through. MIQ gets a great opening. There's controls looking for another, but MIQ, man, oh man, this guy's on fire. 18 and 9 right now, just ripping heads off the shoulders. The AWPer of ATOX. Zesta gets another. And yeah, Dobu really not needing to do a hell of a lot this half so far. It's just been Zesta and MIQ doing it all.
Yeah.
Ariuko all alone.
He's already sniffing him out, isn't he, at this point in time? What a
gorgeous
gorgeous rounds to come out from him. I mean, the confidence, he's not scared to take these duels. He's got the gusto behind him to just immediately recognize the situation where Controls gets the AWP pick. You know, there's a little lapse in timing when you're behind that molly. Are you repositioning to get back onto the line for a hell stretch? Or are you smoking off that molly and trying to funnel them down towards the ramp? Well, MIQ recognizes there's a second that I can push and get a quick trade in this. Then immediately, you know, settle down while his team gets on B and goes for a little bit of a later lurker hunt. Really well played out from him, and this is a great reward now for ATOX's medal in this T side. Back to a half buy for CW to try and get 6 map points now.
Got to play it to perfection, don't they? They really kind of need to win this round, I guess you would say, with the half buy. Pistols can always certainly do it on a map like Nuke, but with that early damage being done, Cabal is going to take down Controls. So, accuracy clearing around. A little bit of a rotation from Rooks.
Yeah.
But again, you know, information's going to be gathered. I think that was a bit of a spot there. Rooks joins the rest of the team, and he's taken, he's hurting.
Just spotted when the smoke started to fade, coming back up the vent. So some missed timing from him for the safety margins. And in a situation like this as well, Mitch, lesser pistols, you might get 1 or 2 more kills, but it shouldn't be netting too much. Unless there's risks that ATOX take.
Hold.
Oh, hang on.
You always got to be pausing in moments like this. Komodo news drops Cabal. So there is all of a sudden a prospect. It's forced him down lower side. And
it's a lifeline. That's what it is.
Here.
It's a lifeline for CW. News in the correct position to be able to upset things. Look, he's opened the doors with a util out. He can't double down, but Doba's on 8.
Still not a 1 round, though. I know he has to sort of go towards that single position. Ariuko, does he give up his information? Or does he wait for the cross? Beautiful. Nicely done. Knows he's going to head back towards double door. And Ariuko can get the defuse nice and easily. So a lifeline. You know, perfect sort of summary from yourself, Komodo. Because money's good now. They've established themselves a little bit to work with, a bit of loss bonus, because with only 2 map points to kind of play with, yeah, this is at least something for them.
Well, the fact that they're able to win this one with that half buy investment as well, right? Giving yourself enough to have a full buy in the next round if it goes to that map point for ATOX, or if you do win it like they've just done, well, it's the lifeline that they've been thrown to potentially equalize, to potentially still win this one in the regulation phase. So, I mean, you're looking at it, right? Everybody's got full utility. There's helms everywhere. There's 1 kit that they're able to get. So you'll have to just keep an eye on where Controls does float that one around, predominantly over towards the ramp room, which they change up now. They position this all back towards Outers, where ATOX have found some great success, getting across in towards Secret, stretching out into the hut when they want to, for a bit of a later lurk in towards the A site with a crunch through Annex too. So for CW, all of this in their heads, they should know the timing to stall ATOX from an A side hit.
Going for the top site now, as you mentioned it, but they had to hold on for the utility as that molly did go in towards Hut now, but it looks like they're faking it out. Komodo actually heading over towards the ramp position right now. MIQ dropped very low. I love that aggression in from the side of E-Fire. Controls, though, picking up Cabal in the process. Dobu, bit of forward thinking. Should very well force Controls off the line, and it does. I don't think he's going to be finding anything else, though, as they drop down towards Megaton. So they've just got to overwhelm this single member in Rooks, who is sitting silo, creeps around, getting a great shot. Not quite the second, has to reload. Holding away for a second. Exactly. He's really, really awkward on this line now. He can move into the smoke. Dobu does find another, but again, so much work needing to be done. He's trapped behind the door. 3 on 3.
The fact that they get the kill on him on the site and pick up that HE grenade when they couldn't have blown open the smoke, this is absolutely monstrous from ATOX, Mitch. That HE grenade on the back of that kill has literally netted them 3 frags around this one.
Absolutely, and now it's all on the Controls and Ariuko to see if they can recover the round. And look, they've got to go for this, right? They've got not a hell of a lot of money into the next. I mean, a save prospect to try and fight for 12 is just pretty miserable. Controls up high. They've got every single angle locked down. Yeah, Controls just has to call it and take the worst result. And unfortunately, our Kadir player to watch hasn't been stepping up as best as he could.
Legitimately, what a shot from Dobu. But accuracy is who I want to highlight in that round, actually. The fact that, you know, Rooks is at the back of the site. I'm looking at the 3 team members alive. They have 2 flashes to their names, right? No utility that can flush him out. No molly, no HE. The fact that accuracy gets the kill on the other B-sided player, picks up the HE grenade, blows open the smoke, and then finds him for the equalization. They get the plant. They close out the round. That one engagement there literally nets him the closer. That is insane.
The moments we're kind of hoping for from a team like ATOX, right? You know, they've been pretty immovable on this T side. Definitely looking very, very confident. As I said, at Extremesland, you know, we saw some moments of brilliance from them, but at the exact same time, you know, when the going got tough, the tough certainly did not get going.
Yeah.
Even though a second place result, you know, obviously they went second place at XPL to Rare Atom as well. So it's an interesting roster where realistically, you know, it could very well be the second best team in Asia, maybe third if we're throwing FlyQuest into the mix. But it just depends on, you know, how Rare Atom's feeling, how Tyloo's feeling, how's Lin Vision going to be looking with this current roster, Starry back in the mix. There's just so many things going on in this region, and I think it's just, high time to keep your eyes peeled.
My boy Jam Young back for Tyloo as well.
Oh,
you know?
bro. Man,
So
I'm
good.
pretty sure,
So
like, you know, he tried to join bloody Tyloo's Valorant, and whatever happened, we don't know. But clearly it didn't work out, and he was back pretty quick, because even at this point in time, he's still considered a sub, but he popped the hell off at Extremesland.
Well,
So here we go, Zesta. 1 HP.
Pretty much done. I mean, it was 45 seconds on the clock in a 5 versus 5 with utility going down, and no utility can be answered by CW. They expunged all of theirs a little bit earlier on, so these kills are just good trades from ATOX at the moment. Mitch, bomb plant down. Just Controls.
Oh, man. Well then, what do you even do, I suppose, right? That was a very, very lackluster looking CT side from the Chinggis Warriors. It was ATOX just absolutely marching their way through on the T side. What did we see? 2 rounds on the CT for the side of Chinggis Warriors. And was it the pistol too? Or I can't remember. I can't remember if we saw the pistol